We can all be seated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
So, to officially open the evening, it's my honor to invite a leader whose grace, guidance, and grit define the soul of this institution. She is the chief mentor of ICOFP, a visionary educator, and a constant force behind everything that makes this institute a place of purpose. Her leadership comes with a rare blend of empathy and excellence, empowering students to not just build careers but craft meaningful lives. What truly sets her apart is her unwavering belief in the power of women to lead, influence, and transform. She has been a constant advocate for the women empowerment in finance, inspiring young women to step forward and with a confidence to take their insightful, rightful place in the leadership at every table where the future is being shaped. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Wani ma'am for the welcome.
Thank you, Muskan. I think I'm audible like this.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, it's a small room. So first of all, I think we are doing this session on a very, very auspicious, not only a day, but it's a very auspicious month. It's the Kartik month. And whatever one starts or does in this month, they say the benefits are multifold. So a big round of applause for all of you. And also, thank you FPSB India for giving us this opportunity to celebrate World Financial Planning Day. I think nothing is greater, a feeling of happiness, joy, and gratitude for an educational institute than to see its alumni and its students prosper and doing well and succeed in the world. And my heart is full today because I see all of you here in this room and celebrating your success, your achievements on this beautiful day. And some of you may have done CFP when the concept of financial planning wasn't even a thing in India. The concept wasn't even known in India. And some of you have done it more recently when the world is going through a lot of volatility, a lot of innovations are happening, a lot of technology has come into play. But let me tell you this, that financial planning as a career, as a profession, has never been more relevant. So what you have chosen to build your career around is just brilliant. It's so noble because you're not only helping others build their wealth, but also building your own wealth alongside. And it's so beautiful. This profession is so positive and so noble because you're handling your clients' money, hard-earned money, and helping it grow. What could be better than that? So congratulations for that. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is, yes, you have gained those skills, you have learned financial planning, but what you need to be is empathetic towards your clients and honest towards your clients. Please remember this. You are brand ambassadors of ICOFP, you have studied from us, and we have built that in our culture. Not only students, but I can vouch for my colleagues, the mentors, the faculties. That culture of honesty, empathy trickles down to the bottom. And we would like that culture to be imbibed by our students as well. We always say Mr. K.K. Bajaj, who's the chairman of Bajaj Capital and also of ICOFP, he has always said that always handle your clients' money like your retired old father. And we want each student of ICOFP to imbibe that ethos always. So honesty and empathy, no matter how lucrative the monetary aspect seems, please keep honesty as a priority always in your minds, and truthfulness, ethical attitude. So this would be my one ask from all of you, that always remember that. And of course, giving back to your alma mater, coming back as guest faculties, as guest coming from the corporate side, giving practical inputs to the fresh students in any way that you can contribute. Many of your faculties have been students of ICOFP a few years back. Muskan is here, Rishi is here, of course, the academic head. There's so many people. Yashveer ji is here, who's still doing CFP with us.
Robin sir is there.
Yes, Robin has also done CFP with us. So there is, great happiness in giving back to your college. It doesn't have to be always about achieving more, but what you can achieve by giving back to society and to students is a different kind of pleasure and happiness. So all the best to all of you. I'm so happy to see you here and to see that all of you are doing so well. So all the best, and always keep in touch. We will keep meeting soon, and next time we will, Rishi, we will have this event at a much larger scale. Thank you.
As I say, she is a rare blend of empathy and excellence. A perfect reminder for all of us that true education doesn't just prepare us to earn, it prepares us to lead, thrive, and create an impact with being ethical with our clients. So, taking this forward, we have with us a leader who represents very organization that upholds the gold standard of financial planning across the world, FPSB India. It is my privilege to introduce Mr. Anshul Srivastava, Head of Standards and Examination at FPSB India. He leads the critical pillars of standards, education, and the examination for the globally respected CFP certification examinations, for ensuring that every CFP professional upholds the highest level of competence and ethics. With over 23 years of experience in the domain of finance, he has conducted workshops, seminars, corporate trainings in collaboration with some India's most respected names, including the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and warmly welcome Mr. Anshul Srivastava to share his insights on how FPSB is harboring the financial planning revolution in India.
Thanks a lot, Kam, Only Man, Mr. Chopra, Mr. Muthu, and all the people here. Happy World Financial Planning Day.
Thank you.
To all of you. And it is rare that I come and talk to people and then behind the exams.
Behind it, tough
Most
exam.
important.
Behind the exams, and if this event was yesterday, I would not have come. CFP exam paper. So 15 papers there. Yes. So I had standards at FPSB India, standards and examination. What are standards? That's a very important question. Our organization is called Financial Planning Standards Board. So standards are the heart of our profession. Some of you are CFP certificates, some of you are going to be CFP certificates. So what does it mean to be a CFP certificate? All that is defined in standards. So standards are very important. All we do, all we teach, all we test, and all we expect from you, it comes out of standards. Anybody has read the global standards which are available really on the website. Anybody has done that? I'm not expecting you to do that. It's a 140-page document, so it's quite cumbersome. But if you have not, go and read that. Our standards, since I come from standards, let me tell you about standards. And this is a topic very less people talk about. So, FPSB's global standards comprises of three: knowing, doing, and being. These are the three things we talk about. This is what CFP certification is. Basically, financial planning is a movement. In FPSB, we consider ourselves as fountainhead of that movement. So, that fountainhead, how did the genesis of CFP begin? Where does the CFP come from? What are the syllabus of CFP? What are the content? What do we test? What are the areas? It all comes from this. So when I talk about knowing, it's financial planning, domain, syllabus, everything that you do. Doing, practice standards. Financial planning, practice standards. And being, ethics. Most important part is ethics, as Mani was talking about, that you have to be honest. You have to be, put your client first. That's not a choice. You have to do that. If you don't do that, then you are violating the CFP code of ethics that you had signed. So that's a very important thing. So this is where our exams come from. We test you, and we have our 4E framework, which most of you have passed: education, examination, experience, and ethics. So through going through the grind, I'm the factory, I run the machine. You come as a raw material, I run the machine, and then you go out and get certified. So basically, we expect there has to be some expectation. Like if I say I am a CFP certificate, I am wearing this badge. So what is expected out of me? There's some expectations out of me. So we try to ensure. I'm not saying that we are 100% successful in that, but we try to ensure that if you are a CFP professional, you are representing FPSB, not FPSB India only. You are representing 2 lakh, you are one of the 2,30,000 professionals who are CFP certificates. Another thing that you should remember, being a CFP certificate, that our profession is very, very dynamic in nature. I did my CFP back in 2009, I passed the exam. 2009, January, Delhi. LIC का तो नहीं LIC it did not used to be NSE IT at that point. NSE was. So it was a wonderful center. I passed it. But things have moved. Some 2 years ago, we said gold is a slow moving asset. What is happening to gold? There was an article in the newspaper, Dainik Bhaskar, I was reading. In last 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, gold has given better return than equity. So it only remove last 2 years return. Then gold will come to it. So things keep on changing. Currently the geopolitical scene is like that you cannot say that only 10% people will want to put 50% of their portfolio in gold. And silver also. People are loving gold and silver. Is this permanent? Come to me after 15 days, I will tell you. I am writing a paper on gold and presenting at IIM Ahmedabad. So the industry is dynamic because of 3 things. First, markets are dynamic. Second, technology. Right now, whatever is great. Right now, we are living in the age of AI. But AI, is it useful for financial planning? Absolutely no. Some may find it useful. Some may not find it useful. But currently, you cannot ignore it. So, as a profession, as I said, that FPSB has to ensure standards. And as a premier qualification in a very, very dynamic industry, what we have to ensure that we stay at the cutting edge of technology. And what is the second factor that makes our profession dynamic? One is technology. Second is regulation. So we have to stay at cutting edge of technology and we have to stay at right side of the regulation. And the regulations keep on changing, no? Look at RIA.
Changes every 3 months.
We realize that not many people are coming, so they are making entry easy. So this will keep on happening. The regulations will keep on changing. The technologies are going to evolve. The products I did my MBA some 23 years back. So institute very near to Delhi. I did from ITech as well. I'm a Delhi alone only. I come from Mumbai right now, but I stayed in Delhi for a long time. So when we passed out, we were taught options and futures. And then he came out of the college, options and futures are not available in Indian exchanges. They were introduced in 2003 and after that. There were skills like financial modeling and all those things. They were not taught at that point in time, but right now they are very essential. So this is going to happen, and that's why we have a concept of CPD. For any professional qualification, continuous professional development is important. So I would suggest you don't wait for journals to complete CPD quiz. Do some activity that will give you learning. And in my long career in education, where I've been teaching, I've been doing a lot of things, the best way to learn is to teach somebody. That's what I'm telling you. This works with Excel superbly. If you've learned Excel and you want to practice it now, teach 2-3 people. They will do whatever they will do, you will be perfect. So that is the thing. And finally, I'll say, what is our role in the society? What is the role of CFP certificates in the society? Who are we?
So that people become financially independent.
We are wealth creators. Our thing is to create wealth, thereby creating wealth for ourselves. So we are wealth creators, and we have to be in a win-win situation. And wealth can be created only in 3 ways. Protect what you already have, insurance planning. Increase what you have, investment planning. Retirement is a special class of investment only. And whether you like it or not, Modi will take taxes. Taxation planning has to be there. And finally, all your life you have worked and all this planning and created a lot of wealth. How you want it to be distributed? Hindu personal, Hindu succession act, or your will? That's how I define financial. Financial planning, latest thing. And keep doing this, keep reinventing yourself, keep marking yourself to the market. Things will be good. This is what I had to say on World Financial Planning Day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srivastava, for such an insightful and thought-provoking speech. So your words beautifully highlighted how globally standards and Indian talent basically can work together in such a dynamic environment. So now to take it more further, now it's time to hear from someone who is a visionary who needs absolutely no introduction in the world of finance, a name that represents trust, credibility and leadership. Mr. Anil Chopra sir, Group CEO and the director at Bajaj Capital Limited, and is one of the most respected voices in India's financial services. Before we proceed, I may request everyone to please stand up and welcome our next speaker. He is just not someone who is respected in the world of finance, but he is a chartered accountant and the first certified financial planner and a person behind who bought CFP in India. Financial planning in India, Mr. Chopra is someone who stands out one of the earliest one as a champions and driving the force behind the CFP movement here. And I would also like to congratulate him. Just few days back, Mr. Chopra has won via CEO Insights Top 10 Corporate Finance Leaders in 2025. Congratulations. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like Mr. Anil Chopra sir to come forward and tell us how can India realistically lead the global wealthy story.
First, please sit down. I think you had a good stretch, all of you. You were sitting for a while. So, good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for those kind words. World Financial Planning Day, its importance is, what Janmashtami means to those who follow Krishna. What Ram Navami means to those who follow Ram. So, for all those whose life revolves around financial planning, World Financial Planning Day gives that much importance. And so we should look forward to it. we should mark it in our calendar, 8th October every year. We should get together in the fraternity amongst educators, certificates, students, and discuss how this profession is going forward. So, friends, I'm sure you know the statistics. This profession was born only about 60, 70 years ago. I think in 70s, so it's about only 55 years. One of the newest profession. And the population so far, as Mr. Srivastava also shared, is only 2,30,000 or 2,40,000 in the whole world, out of which India is boasting of only about 3,000 few. So this question that what is the potential and where India can lead this profession of financial planning globally is, I think, which all of you can find it very easy to answer. India has progressed significantly in the last few years. I'm sure all of you agree?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you look at the way different countries or continents have progressed, then the 90s they belong to Japan. As a country, it rapidly grown into a very large economy, and then 2000 to 2010 was the turn of great country US, from where this financial planning profession was also born. And in 2010 to 2020, China rose very, very fast. In fact, as all of us know, that China is 4 or 5 times bigger than what we are today. And every financial expert around the globe is now saying the same thing repeatedly, that this decade or next decade belongs to India. So can we have a round of applause for all of us? So fast we have become the 4th largest economy in the world, and very soon we will be third, just behind US and China. So the scope for CFPs to demonstrate what they can add to the value of their clients through their special skills is humongous. It cannot be quantified. It is beyond imagination, because millions of Indians are getting out of the what we call the lower middle class to middle class, and from middle class to upper middle class, and from upper middle class to affluent. And it is happening on a daily basis. What does this mean is that the disposable incomes are rising, choices are improving, new and new products and solutions are being introduced in the market, and the consumers or Indians or Indian savers are getting increasingly confused about what is good for them, and in this confusion comes the opportunity for all of us, a fraternity of financial planners, that we can show them the light, we can clear what the confusion is there, we can handhold them, and we can protect their wealth, we can help them grow wealth, we can help them create wealth, and we can help them become more financially planned and informed, and also secured, and live long, happy, with joy, with energy, with resilience. That is the responsibility that the profession, all of us have. So friends, as students, all of you know the basic pillars of our profession are 4 E's, which we know just like ABCD. For 1, 2, 3, we know the 4 E's: the education, examination, experience, and ethics. And this is what was covered by Vani ma'am also, and by Anshuji also. We should never forget, and we should continuously improve on these 4. Education is a never-ending journey. Just because you have passed CFP exam doesn't mean that you are good for rest of your life now. So the continuous development, or whatever we call it, continuous professional examination, CPE, CBA, CPD, it is a must, and we must know the sources from where we can continuously improve our educational background. And then of course examination is, you have passed your exam, you already CFP, you don't need to pass the exam again, but remain in that mode that if an exam is taken today, tomorrow, whenever, you should all pass with flying colors, Experience, of course, you are gaining every day, every month, every year in this profession, and ethics is something which cannot be overemphasized. This has already been spoken, so I will not cover much about how we should always remain ethical, because please remember that CFP is not a degree, okay? It's not a certificate, it's not a diploma, it's a mark. And there is a huge difference between a mark and something like a paper, like a degree or a diploma. It is a mark of respect. The respect which society gives you. Just because after your name CFP is written with TM, it raises your situation, position in the minds of society significantly. And that mark has to be respected. And that can be respected only by practicing very high degree of ethical standards. One example was given. I also belong to the same institution, which is Bajaj Capital. Our senior chairman, Mr. K.K. Bajaj, when he interviewed me 41 years ago, in 1984, he told me, Anil, please remember, treat your client as your own retired father and give him that advice which you will give to your own father. And he wasn't a CFP. Nobody had heard CFP in 1984. But what he was talking was essentially what CFP or Financial Planning Standard Board watches for or continues to speak that language loudly. Initially, when I had joined Bajaj Capital as a chartered accountant way back, what we were doing, it used to intrigue me that how the same thing is done in other parts of the world. We were called investment advisors, which is still respectable. But some people used to call us brokers. That used to hurt me. Okay, broker also is accepted word, but somehow I used to feel, no, I'm not broking, I'm not like a property agent or a real estate broker. We are doing much more than that. So financial consultants, some people were using, and of course investment advisors. And then when I started googling it or searching it globally, कि ये जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, हम clients की needs को समझते हैं, we understand what are their aspirations, their goals, their risk appetite, अब उनका portfolio आने वाला है, which is the solution which will befit them the most, what it is called outside, say in Australia or in Germany, वहाँ पे भी तो लोग ऐसी चीजें करते होंगे. So that is how I came across this concept of financial planning, and I was amazed when I realized that this is exactly what we do. Only thing is that in India में किसी को mind में नहीं आया कि हम जो करते हैं financial planning करते हैं. So that is what made my curiosity go very high, and when I was going to US for some other work, my senior colleague and Mr. Bajaj's elder son, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, he told me, Anil, you are going to US, why don't you go into FPSB's office in Denver, Colorado, and find out more about how is it different, what we can learn from it. And rest is, I will not take much of your time, but that was just the seed and the beginning of this concept of bringing the CFP mark into India. That is history. And Mr. Srivastava asked a very beautiful question. सर हमारा रोल क्या है सोसाइटी में? हमारा रोल जो है उस पर पूरी किताब लिख सकते हो. So I have been doing these sessions even 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, and every time I come up with some new definition. But some of the roles which are very close to my heart and which I learned by attending at least 15 or 16 international financial planning conferences across the globe, right from Singapore to Australia to UK to US. वहाँ से निशान से बुलाएंगे तो उसको बंद करके तो जब जाएंगे तब लाइफ फोटो क्लिक कर देना उसी तरह से. When we say life coach, ये क्लियर हो रहा है कि it is not a one time or a 1 year or a 3 साल or a 5 साल, ये पूरी लाइफ की रिलेशनशिप. We go till he lives, till we live, and maybe we pass it on. And then we are using the word coach. Coach puts a lot of responsibility on a person. हम लोग क्रिकेट के कोच को जानते हैं, फुटबॉल को करके, how charged up they are, कैसे वो लगे रहते हैं टीम के साथ. But here when we are talking about that we are life coach, we even go to the extent of, because some of our clients have become rich recently, suddenly. ऐसे होते हैं कहीं कोई स्टार्टअप किया, कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट करी, एकदम से मोटे पैसे आ गए. But they don't know how to use that, how to enjoy it. They need some coaching. कि आपको कैसे सोसाइटी में घूमना है, कौन सी गाड़ियाँ खरीदनी है, बिजनेस क्लास में आपको कब ट्रैवल करना है, किस टाइप के क्लब्स की मेंबरशिप लेनी है, आपको गोल्फ खेलना सीखना है, आपको फाइन डाइनिंग आनी चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह. These are also the nuances which global financial planners talk about it and give them their inputs to their client. This is just one small example of a life coach. Then, do you agree?
Yes.
Are you able to relate?
Yes.
क्लाइंट्स को हमें चीजें बतानी पड़ती है कि सर अब आप ये सब कुछ कर सकते हो, पुराने उसमें मत रहो. Then every financial planner has to act like a psychiatrist. Yes or no?
Yes.
You agree with that? Psychiatrist. कभी आप क्लाइंट से बात करते हो, जैसे माइंड गेम्स खेलते हो क्लाइंट के साथ, मार्केट अप होगी डाउन होगी, क्लाइंट परेशान है, डरा हुआ है, ओवर एंथुसियास्टिक है, वो प्रोविडेंट फंड पे से पैसे निकाल के गोल्ड में लगा रहे हैं वगैरह वगैरह. So we have to be psychiatrists, which means we have to be very good at psychology. We have to read a client's mind, not just listen to what he is saying, but also listen to what he is not saying. That is why we say that we like to do a discovery meeting with our clients first, before we onboard any client. कितने लोग हैं आप लोगों में से डिस्कवरी मीटिंग करते हैं? Good. Nice to see. Discovery meeting is that before you sign that I will become your financial planner and I will look at your portfolio and I will set your goals and I will help you decide what or where all you should invest, what policies you should buy, etc. You should have a 1.5 hours, 2 hours discovery meeting in a very peaceful, nice, atmosphere where there is no disturbance. In a separate cabin in office, या आपके घर में या अपने ड्राइंग रूम में कहीं पे, where the entire family should be present. If you are just dealing with the client who will be 90% male, 10% female, if you are only talking to that one person, you are not doing a great job. You are not being a life coach. You have to understand who all are the different stakeholders of that client: spouse, children, parents, एक लोग साथ रहते हैं, but mostly husband, wife, and adult children. They should be there together. And then when you are talking to the client, you should study कि जो बाकी फैमिली मेंबर्स हैं उनकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसे चेंज हो रही है, हम क्या सुन रहे हैं, हम क्या देख रहे हैं, ये विल की बात हो रही है, सक्सेशन प्लानिंग की बात हो रही है. So the skill sets required, not simply knowing the product कि ये इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी है, ये मल्टी एसेट एलोकेशन फंड है, या ये सिल्वर ETF है, that is simple basic. We need to go much beyond that. Okay, so I know time is limited and sometimes I get scared. So
But they are learning this new, sir.
Yeah.
हम चाहते हैं हमारा अपना मेथड.
So friends, our role, as I was telling you, is also, of course, friend, philosopher, and guide. Two ways about it. And now I want to give you some practical tips now. Okay, that way we can have some other discussions. So the skills required to be a fantastic, very, very successful financial planner in practice, or even if you are working somewhere, few are given. जैसे एक तो आपको बताया कि हमारे knowledge होनी चाहिए. तो knowledge कहाँ से आती है? That people don't know. People everyone says कि we must keep our knowledge up to date. कि वो new tax regime में क्या benefit मिलते हैं, code में अभी भी क्या मिल रहा है, standard deduction कितनी है, senior citizen का क्या है, वो सब पता होना चाहिए. But we must also know कि knowledge के sources क्या हैं. Knowledge के sources are multifold. Website of FPSP, website of SEBI, website of AMFI, websites of all the AMCs, websites of all the insurance companies, and watching business, channels, reading business newspapers, listening to podcasts, listening to the industry leaders. This is where our knowledge goes up. And how many of you agree कि बहुत ज़्यादा knowledge तो हमको अपने client से मिल जाती है? Yes or no? Often we come to know कि client को ज़्यादा पता होता है. He is ahead of us. But we must remain open. So knowledge is only 10% to be successful. Then the second thing which everybody knows is fantastic communication skill. Knowledge is useless if you cannot communicate it in the language which our client understands. Some clients understand only Punjabi properly. Some clients would say high class English, Queen's English. Some people English. So you we need to know कि client हमारे सामने आके बैठ गया, वो अरबोपति भी हो सकता है, लाखोपति भी हो सकता है, उसको क्या लैंग्वेज में वो कंफर्टेबल, तमिल में है तो तमिल में, मराठी में है तो मराठी में, हिंदी है तो हिंदी, इंग्लिश है तो इंग्लिश. Not that what we know we should speak. We must immediately find out. एक सेकंड से पता चल जाता है कि ये बंदा what language he will be comfortable. जी कहने से जाता है. Just one person says that जी, आप फोन करते हो, so I am speaking to Mr. Agarwal. If he says yes, do you know what these mean? If he says जी, do you know what he means, right? So immediately you change your language. So communication skill. All of you know maybe more than me how to improve communication skill. The third one is, which is more important than communication skill, is listening skills. US में when I used to attend these sessions, घंटों वहाँ पे ऐसे होता था जैसे कि इसमें साइंस है कोई listening skill. How we can improve our listening skills? Because somebody who is not a good listener can never be a good planner, right? And so there can be 2-hour session only on listening skill. Just to tell you in 2 minutes, कि अगर हमारी एक क्लाइंट से आधे घंटे की मीटिंग हुई और उसमें 20 मिनट हम बोले हैं, 10 मिनट क्लाइंट बोला है, तो मीटिंग फेल है. आपको उसमें से कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है. बट इफ यू हैव स्पोकन 10 मिनट्स एंड 20 मिनट्स, क्लाइंट बोला है, आपने सुना है, that is where the chances of conversion or getting, you know, some revenue or some success are much higher. So you have to learn how to ask open-ended questions and be a very intent, great, with keenness listener. आंखों में आंखें डाल के. Then only, you know, if I look at you and I ask you a question, ma'am, आपने सोचा कब आप रिटायर हो? If you say, maybe by the time I am 45, if I repeat, अच्छा, by the time you are 45, that means I am listening. लेकिन अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि सर आप कब रिटायर होगे, तो फिर मैं इधर ड्रॉर में अपने फोन पे कागज देख रहा हूँ या फोन पे कुछ देख रहा हूँ, you know कि I am asking just for the sake of asking, but I am not interested. I am not, मेरा ध्यान इधर उधर कई जगह है. So listening with intent and repeating, so that other person realizes that you are only focusing on him and her, nothing else, will help you win the trust, which is the basic requirement for being successful. So knowledge हो गई, communication skill हो गई, listening skill हो गई, you are only 40% there. अभी तो बहुत सारी skills चाहिए. जो next important skill है, वो है relationship skill और social skills. You should be smiling. Forthcoming personality, जिससे वो relate कर सके. इसकी एपिटोमिक्स का क्या है कि आपकी रिलेशनशिप स्किल बढ़िया है कि नहीं है? मुस्कान, आपकी तो मुस्कान इतनी बढ़िया है कि अगर क्लाइंट आपको अपने बच्चे के बर्थडे पे बुला रहा है, तो देन यू नो कि हमारी रिलेशनशिप बन गई है. दैट मींस ही और शी इज ट्रीटिंग अस एज फैमिली. अगर अपने घर की शादी में बुला रहा है हमको, राइट? सो यू गो टू अ क्लाइंट हाउस, जाते हैं ना हम लोग क्लाइंट के घर जाते हैं ना, यस और नो? तो जाके वो कहाँ बैठा देते हैं हमको? सोफे पे कि डाइनिंग टेबल की चेयर पे? कहीं भी बैठा सकते हैं. समटाइम्स ऐसे अभी बैठे आई एम जस्ट कमिंग ना बोल देते हैं ना, या यहाँ बैठ जाओ डाइनिंग टेबल की चेयर पे. इफ यू सिट लाइक दिस एकदम से कि मैं तो क्लाइंट के घर में आया हूँ, आई शुड बी वेरी प्रोफेशनल, इधर नहीं देखना है, वो भी ठीक है, बट रिलेशनशिप नहीं बनती है. अगर आप आराम से बैठो, जैसे उसकी कोई फैमिली वाला है तो बच्चा ऐसे भागता हुआ गया, वो सर स्मार्ट किड, अरे कौन सा स्कूल में पढ़ता है, क्लाइंट फील हैप्पी और इनसे कि क्या बात करता है, because you are trying to build it. ये सभी चीजें नहीं पढ़ाई जाती सीएफपी के कोर्स में. स्टडी प्रिपेयर हो गया, फैकल्टी वाले ये नहीं बताएंगे आपको, एग्जाम में नहीं पूछेंगे कि आपने ये पूछा था फोटो देख, चलिए आपके पेरेंट्स की फोटो, सर पागल लग रहा है, आपके आगे से रिटायर हो गए. These are relationship building, social skills, very 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 important. But just to cut your long story short, जो लास्ट स्किल है वो किलर है. वो अगर नहीं है, पहली चारों चीजें आपके अगर 100 out of 100 भी है ना, तब भी चांसेस आप फेल हो जाओगे. यानी कैसी बात है रेफरिंग टू, क्या वो स्किल है जो बिल्कुल किलर है? वो है सर्विस, एटीट्यूड टू सर्व द ह्यूमैनिटी. एक बड़ी सिंपल इंग्लिश में टर्मिनोलॉजी है, सब जानते हैं हम, वो बड़ी बेकार से लगती है, इसको बोलते हैं आफ्टर सेल सर्विस. सुना आप लोगों ने? आई एम रेफरिंग टू आफ्टर सेल सर्विस. I'll just take 2 minutes. Can I get 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Explain this point.
Yes. 20 sir, 20.
मान लीजिए हम सब अल्टीमेटली रेवेन्यू ओरिएंटेड है। हम एक 5,000 किस्से जो कर लेते हैं तभी थोड़ी खुशी होती है, लेकिन अगर 1 लाख की लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बिक जाते हैं फिर तो मतलब शाम को चिकन भी खा लेते हैं उससे। तो अब आपने लाइफ इंश्योरेंस किसी क्लाइंट को दे, ठीक है, यू आर फीलिंग हैप्पी, बढ़िया काम हो गया मेरा, गुड रेवेन्यू, प्रीमियम देगा आपको ये। नाउ क्लाइंट टेल्स यू कि भाई आ जाओ, मैंने एप्लीकेशन तैयार कर ली है, ठीक है, तो आप फटाफट से मोटरसाइकिल उठाओगे, गाड़ी उठाओगे, भागे भागे जाओगे, यस और नो। लेकिन वही अगर क्लाइंट आपको बोले कि यार वो आना जरा 1 मिनट, वो पॉलिसी में ना वो नॉमिनी चेंज करना है, वो रिडम्पशन करना है, मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में ना मैंने 10 लाख निकालना है, मेरी बेटी की पढ़ाई के लिए चाहिए मेरे को, तब भी अगर आप उतने ही भागे भागे जाओगे जब उसने आपको चेक लेने के लिए बुलाया था, then you have done it. Then that means you have the service attitude. You are not differentiating. मेरे को पैसे मिल रहे हैं, रेवेन्यू मिल रहा है, या मैं सर्विस कर रहा हूँ। So जो लोग इसमें डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करते वो लाइफ में कभी मार नहीं खाते। They are super successful. तो ये जस्ट कंटिन्यूइंग दिस एग्जांपल ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस की पॉलिसी आपने कर दी, 15 दिन के बाद आप उसी क्लाइंट को दोबारा फोन करो, सर मैं अनीश बोल रहा हूँ एबीसी से। हाँ अनीश बोलो सर, वो आपकी इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी थी, उसको लगेगा एक और इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी आगे नहीं सर, वो आपको बॉन्ड आ गया, इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी आ गई, तो खुश होगा कि नाराज होगा? बहुत खुश होगा। आज तक किसी ने कराएंगे ऐसा? तो उसके 2 जवाब होंगे, एक तो होगा कि हाँ आ गई है पॉलिसी, ओके सर पॉलिसी आ गई सर, नाइस, आई विल कम टू योर होम सर, आज शाम को आऊंगा, मैं पॉलिसी चेक कर लूंगा कि उसमें कोई मिस्टेक तो नहीं होगी, डेट ऑफ बर्थ तो नहीं गलत हो गई आपकी, कोई पिन कोड तो नहीं चेंज हो गया। नाउ जस्ट इमेजिन कि व्हाट इंपैक्ट इट विल हैव ऑन योर लाइफ। जब आप जाओगे तो क्लाइंट 2 रेफरेंसेस तैयार करके बैठा होगा पहले से ही कि नोट करो, ये मेरे जीजाजी का नंबर है, ये मेरे पूरी का नंबर है, आपने इनको ये चीज बता दी है। इफ यू विल सॉल्व दिस सर्विस एटीट्यूड। दूसरा ये है कि ही विल से कि नहीं मेरी पॉलिसी नहीं आई अभी, व्हिच इज आल्सो नॉर्मल के, अच्छा नहीं आई सर, 15 दिन में आ जाती है, मैं भी फोन करता हूँ सर, आई विल गेट बैक टू यू। So this is the simple example of service attitude, but you can have multiple, variations of these. So these are some of the basic things. If we keep this in mind, but never forget the overarching number 1, which is ethics. Keeping that right. Wish you good luck. All the best.
मानिकम सर के जो हमारा बैच है उसमें क्वेश्चन करवाया करो, फीडबैक एंड जस्ट फर्स्ट टाइम आई हैव लिसनड इट, इट मस्ट